What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Early Edge in 5. I am the Counselor of Cash, and I am very excited to get this show started, not just because we have EC and the Speculator, but because we are on the dawn of something really, really awesome. Or I should say, we are on the cusp of something really, really awesome, which is 2 months of the NBA playoffs, a couple months of the NHL playoffs, or at least close to it. And then we've got baseball mixed in. Next thing you know, we're going to be in football season. I could not be more excited. But without further ado, let's bring on the rest of the Joe Bros team. Of course, that is EC and Jason Spector, otherwise known as the Speculator. EC, let me start with you here. Thanks for being with me again. This is back-to-back days. I'm really excited that I get to be with both of you. But are you as excited as I am? I'm looking at your picks for the first time, and I see you're going across multiple sports, which actually makes my point even kind of deeper, right? We have so many sports at our fingertips, and we can say goodbye to load management and things of that nature, right?
All right. Well, so here's the thing, Counselor. Like, I wasn't picking NBA games, and I'm still, Spector asked me before the show, NBA game. I said no more regular season NBA games. So why didn't I pick any tonight? It's still too close to the regular season. I need, let's get through this week, and then maybe next week I'll throw in some games. Now, wwhy am I picking NHL? Well, I've hit 2 in a row, plus I knew it annoyed Coach last week, so I'm sticking with that. And I mean, baseball, we had a pretty good night last night. We were 2-1 in baseball. Came one base hit away from a clean sweep 4-0 day, but I'm feeling pretty good. I also want to apologize to my friend the Speculator for jinxing his pick last night. So my sincere apologies. I did not mean that. Yeah.
Well, Spector, you can feel free to respond to that. Go ahead.
All I can say is the A's left so many runners on base. It was
horrible. I was watching the game. It was horrible.
It was so bad. And the first inning goes down. There's 3 runs in. I was like, if we're going 3 runs in, like in an inning, we're good as gold. Even if we go, scoreless for the next 2, 3 runs in 3 innings, we'll get 9 by the end. We're good. And it just, it was not good. But, we're here for another day. The NBA is back. I'm ready for this play-in.
Well, I'll tell you what, Spector, we'll leave the NBA for the second set of picks. EC, I want to start with you. You've got 3 picks here. One's NHL related, and then you got 2 baseball picks. I'm curious to hear about all of them.
All right, here we go, Counselor. As I said, 2-0 in my last 2 in the NHL. We're going with the Sabres over 2.5 goals tonight. That's team total at -140, laying a little juice here. So here's why. They're still mathematically alive in the wild card race, but they pretty much need a miracle. I mean, they need Pittsburgh to lose out, and they need to win their next 3. But they've won 3 in a row and 5 of 6, and they've hit this number of 3 or more goals in 8 of their last 10. The last time they played the Devils, which was in March, they scored 5. Buffalo is 5th in the league in goals, and what's even better is the SportsLine model projects Buffalo's team total for 3.5. So I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Let's go for 3 in a row in the NHL, and then Coach can't say any bad words about me picking hockey games. All right, then we've got 2 in Major League Baseball. Now, we did pretty well last night, but we're going with a big one here. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays over 2.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, and you're getting some nice juice at plus 115. So he's 2 for 3 lifetime against Tigers starter Matt Manning with a double and an RBI. But he's 4th in the league in hitting, which is right now at 439. He's been phenomenal lately. He has a minimum of 2 hits and 1 run in each of his last 5 games. He's just on a tear, and he's hit this total in his last 5 and then 6 out of 10 on the season. I just feel like Vladdy is so hot, and he's the number 3 hitter in that dynamic Blue Jays lineup. I think you gotta play this one even at the plus 115 mark. And then this one's really interesting to me. CJ Cron over 1.5 total bases is plus 105 on DraftKings. Now, CJ Cron is the cleanup hitter for the Colorado Rockies. He's 2 for 3 lifetime against Cardinals starter Miles Mikolas with a double, a homer, and 5 RBIs and 3 at-bats, which is crazy. But here's what's even more wild. So on a lot of the books, you can get this at plus 105. On FanDuel, it's minus 140. So do not play this on FanDuel. If you're going to play it, look at any of the other books where it's much better value. So I wanted to play his over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, but it was minus 165, and we don't lay that kind of juice here on Early Edge in 5. So we're going to stick with plus 105. I think CJ Cron gets a double and or a home run. And by the way, for your FanDuel home run promotion on Tuesday nights, I'm going with Jordan Walker at nearly, I think it's like 5.5 to 1. The likely rookie of the year right now for the Cardinals, on fire. And I believe there will be 5 home runs in this game, so you can max out that promotion.
I love that, EC. And by the way, Jason, you must love that he referenced a sports line model. You as a data scientist, when he was talking about that Sabres play and it projecting 3.5 goals, I know you as the data scientist, that's music to your ears. But also music to your ears, of course, is that the NBA playoffs are starting. And just from a calendar standpoint, just so everybody knows, the NBA playoffs, the finals, they go through the middle of June. We've got 2 months of NBA basketball with zero load management to worry about. So I think that's really cool. And for the record, that NHL play, EC, I know I said it at the outset, but the NHL finals, the Stanley Cup finals are going to be in early June. So again, 2 months of hockey too. And we know we have all the year-round sports too, whether it's UFC or golf or NASCAR or anything else. There's just so much in front of us. But Nick Jonas, a.k.a. the Speculator, a.k.a. Jason Spector, a.k.a. Specty, what you got?
Yeah, we're like you just said, playoff season. I love the NBA playoffs. They're so much fun to watch. And honestly, they're quite difficult to predict because they play so different from the regular season. We got to use different data sets. But for tonight in the play-in, I got a pick for each of the games. For the first game, for the Heat game, we're going to go Kyle Lowry over 3.5 assists at -119. I'm going to keep this short. Lowry averages 4.6 assists in his last 10 games, and he's averaging 24.5 minutes a game. In a game like this, where you're looking to go into the playoffs, you want a floor general there because you want that veteran floor general to limit mistakes and limit those turnovers. And plus, the Hawks are going to want to play faster than the Heat. Put the ball in Kyle Lowry's hand in that half court. He's going to limit turnovers and limit the speed of the game. That's why we're going Lowry over 3.5 assists. Second game, Lakers game. I just couldn't resist on this one. LeBron James, he just has to go over 28.5 points tonight. Our model has him scoring 0.89 points per minute, and LeBron is going to play 31 minutes or more. In fact, we think he's probably going to play in that 35-minute range, meaning we're projecting 31.25 points for him tonight. The last 2 times he played over 35 minutes in a game, which was actually quite recently, he had 34 points and 37. I think the Lakers would rather have LeBron play a really long game tonight than 2 games of maybe 25 to 28 minutes, especially because their record against Memphis this season, 2-1. Denver, 2-2. So I think they like the matchup against Memphis a little better.
This Lakers game, super intriguing. Honestly, I said it on the morning show that if somehow Minnesota, and I think they can potentially grab a lead early, I'm definitely going to be looking to make a live bet on the Lakers. So kind of stay tuned for that. I think it's ripe for that with Minnesota having so many men down. I think, Jason, I think you're right. I also think Anthony Davis is going to feast. I mean, I think both of these guys are going to have a really, really good game. All right, those were great picks. Fellas, thank you. Let's get the recap screen going so that we can talk about every single pick we just made in the last 5-6 minutes. LeBron James, over 28.5 points, -119. Kyle Lowry, over 3.5 assists, -119. Those both from Jason Spector. Eric Cohen, EC, he has the Sabres team total over 2.5 goals, -140. Vlad Guerrero Jr., over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at +115. And CJ Crone over 1.5 total bases at +105. And I'll just remind everybody, I've got my pick that's still outstanding. It hasn't started yet. Yesterday's pick, actually, we had already cashed it by the time we did the early edge in 5. But this one, of course, is the Padres first half plus a half a run. Again, Padres first 5 innings plus a half a run. When I gave it out this morning, it was around -115. In a lot of places, it's -130 already, -135. I'm not saying we moved the line. I'm not saying we didn't move the line.
All right, now, Counselor, I want to chime in on two quick things. First of all, I was watching the morning show, and there was somebody that sent something into the chat, and your reaction was priceless. And they were like, it's EC's world and Coach is living it. That was not me. I think it was Patrick. I appreciate very much the comment. Your reaction was great, so I love that. But no, it was not my burner. I just want to point that out. And number 2, I watched a little bit of the golf show, and I really, really like your pick of Cameron Young to win outright. That's where I'm going. That's my top pick this week. I'll give out some golf plays tomorrow since you're going to be here with us. So I got to get some golf plays in here. Got to get your thoughts on those. But I'm feeling really good. And I also like Morikawa as well. So you and I align on 2 of my 3 picks this week.
Absolutely. If you haven't caught the early wedge, we recorded it a little early today. It's going to be in the YouTube feed on the early edge. And it's honestly a great show. Yeah, he is one of my guys, Victor Hovland and Colin Morikawa, certainly in the conversation for me from an outright standpoint as well. Well, gentlemen, I think that's all the damage we can do today. And that means there's only one thing left to do. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all these tickets straight to the pay window. For AB, who's back there producing on the ones and twos. He's so good. He's on the threes and fours and the nines and tens. And for EC and for the speculator, Jason Spector. This has been the Early Edge in 5, and we'll see you on the next one.